This is Entrepreneur 101, inspiring entrepreneurs to rise, innovate, and create lasting impact. And I want to do take two. This is Entrepreneurship 101, inspiring entrepreneurs to rise, innovate, and create lasting impact. Another another episode and another great conversation with my legendary co-host, Mr. Michael D. Brown.
Daniel, it's great to be with you again. Super excited about this episode.
Definitely mindset before money. How entrepreneurs think differently. What do you think, Mr. Michael?
Mindset over money. I like that. Money often follows mindset. It follows mindset. The right mindset, the right vision, the right
Mm-hmm.
plan. Money tends to follow that. Chase
Yes.
purpose, you won't have to chase money.
Yes. Money, money, money come to us. So, how does entrepreneurial thinking differ from employer thinking, Mr. Michael?
Yeah, that's a big one for a lot of people, Daniel. You know, an entrepreneurial mindset has to make sure that everything is pretty much set up for success. The
Mm.
employee does not necessarily have to think that way. When you know you got a check coming twice a month, uh, you can maybe rest a little bit more assured on certain things. But if you only eat the fish that you catch, that's a different mindset. That's
Yes.
more of an entrepreneurial mindset. Now, there can be some similarities in that both you need to work hard, both you need to be consistent, both produce results, an entrepreneur mindset and an employee mindset. But the entrepreneur may have more weight on them, right? The stakes for them are different than an employee. And we can get into that a little bit more, but I'll pause there.
Mm-hmm. I think so. And I think, Mr. Michael, thinking different from employees, thinking primarily is how I think responsibility and risk and decision making are perceived, right? Entrepreneurs operate with the ownership mindset, like viewing outcomes are good or bad, or is it their responsibility to drives proactive problem solving?
That's right. For the entrepreneur, the stakes may be higher. They
Yes.
may have placed more investment into it. For them, it may be more of an all or nothing mentality, an all in mentality. If this doesn't succeed, right, I have no plan B. For many, they may have no plan B. They're that much all in. And there are people who are working jobs and they want to tap into that mindset as well. It doesn't mean they need to quit their day job, but maybe they
Mm-hmm.
have an idea, they have a vision, they have a platform that they want to launch. And I encourage you, take on that entrepreneurial mindset, an all in mentality that I got to leave it all on the field if this is going to succeed. And then
Mm-hmm.
maybe you elicit some help, elicit some support, find a mentor, find someone who can encourage you along the way, someone who can teach you maybe some tricks of the trade. But that's a mindset of all in. I got to lay it on the line in order to help this idea to flourish and succeed.
So, Mr. Michael, how or why does mindset shape revenue outcomes? Oh, mindset. I want to earn millions. That's the mindset. Is it the mindset that you uh encourage to all entrepreneurs?
Yeah, the entrepreneurial mindset needs to see it before they see it. You got to see it before you actually see it. That's what faith is. I remember watching a video, and an entrepreneur was talking, Daniel, in an interview. He said him and his friends had launched a business, and they had a little running joke that said,
Mm-hmm.
"We're already millionaires. They just haven't sent
Yes.
us the check yet."
I like that.
Right? You got to see it before you can see it.
Mm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Believe and you will achieve.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with that idea, it starts with that belief. The how matters, but you got to get the what right. What is it that I'm called to do? What am I passionate about? What am I purposeful? What drives me? What motivates me? That mindset of all in, that the willingness to take that leap of faith, to step out on faith, to show the courage. And again, we're not talking about just a reckless risk here. We're talking about a smart, calculated risk where we've done our homework, we've done our research, we've tested out ideas, we're getting good feedback, and now it's go time.
Mm. It's go time. Yes. And I think mindset shapes revenue outcomes because it influences how leaders price value and pursue the opportunity and respond to, let's say, resistance in the market,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Resistance in the market, revenue. If we're running into resistance, that's going to impact revenue. That's where mindset really matters. That's where results really matter. So we got three R's there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Revenue, results, and I'll add resourcefulness. In order to get the revenue, we
Resource.
got to be resourceful, right? We have to be willing to be creative in order to get the results we see. But again, what are we chasing after? If you're just chasing money, you may go down many paths that might produce no money. Okay. But if you chase what you're called to do, what you feel led to do, where you see a need in the marketplace, it's amazing how great businesses, great inventions take off because people saw a problem and decided to try and solve it.
Mhm. Yes. We are solving a problem here, people. Empowering entrepreneur all over the world.
That's right.
So, how do belief influence decision making?
Belief gets to the core, it gets to the foundation, it gets to what drives us. If we don't truly believe in something, then oftentimes we'll quit too soon,
Yes.
right? But when you're a firm believer, someone called themselves a zealot. That's where the word zealot is to
Mm,
attach to belief, right? What that which we believe, we're willing to be zealous about. Whether it's the best cheeseburger in town, whether it's the
mm,
best dentist around, whether it's the best place to go to church, or where we worship, or any organization that we're connected to, oftentimes we're zealous about it because we believe in it, because we've experienced it. We've experienced something good as a result of being connected to it. So
mm,
belief is going to drive so much of the other things that we're talking about that are important. But I love the phrase that says, believe, and our belief will create the facts.
mm. Yes.
Belief
Uh,
goes a long way.
Yes, definitely. I think belief influence decision making too, Mr. Michael, by, let's say, shaping how information is interpreted, which is options are considered viable, and how risk assess.
That's right. I'm glad you brought up the point about decision making. I'm glad you came back to that, because we can be a firm believer. We can be zealous about it. We can be motivated or inspired to want to accomplish something. But if
Mm-hmm.
if we're not making sound, healthy decisions along the way, a great belief can go down in flames.
True.
So many people start a business and they have the belief, but have they done the homework, the research? Do they have the problem solving skills? Are they adaptable as things change, as so often things can change whenever we're in business? And you think about COVID, right?
Yes.
Some businesses were able to weather that storm because they made good decisions along the way. They were flexible, they were adaptable, they were resilient, they were resourceful. Yeah.
and they won the battle. Okay, so why is responsibility a competitive advantage, Mr. Michael?
Responsibility is an advantage in life, period.
Yes.
Because when we take on our responsibilities, that's directly connected to results. Responsibility is connected to results, whether it's in a relationship, personal or professional. There's nothing like stepping up to the plate and taking responsibility. You know, response ability, our ability to respond, response ability. Do we have the ability to respond appropriately? Do we have the knowledge, the wisdom, the humility to be able to respond appropriately? That goes beyond just discipline, that goes beyond just surface level things. That taps into wisdom to know the right thing to do and have the courage to do it. Yeah.
Interesting, Mr. Michael. And I think responsibility is a competitive advantage because it accelerates learning,
That's good.
education, and trust, right?
Yeah. A
What?
lifelong
Mm,
pursuit of learning. That's a
mm,
responsible choice to commit to a lifelong pursuit of learning. And one of the best things we can learn is ourself,
true.
our thoughts, our words, our actions. That's the greatest lesson that keeps on teaching. That's an indispensable lesson, learning ourselves. What makes us tick? What motivates us? What triggers us? What tends to shut us down? Yeah.
So, Mr. Michael, how do successful founders handle uncertainty? For sure, lots of founders
Through humility.
experienced experience this.
Yeah. Through humility, through consultation,
Mm,
humbling ourselves to enough to consult with people who can help us. There's no shame in needing help. The shame is in needing help and not asking for it. So sometimes the leader, the entrepreneur, the visionary can feel like they're in it all by themselves. That's why it's so important to have people surrounding us who can buy into the vision and people who are going to be consistent and people that are going to give us good information. To not just surround ourselves, Daniel, with just yes people, but to
mm.
have people around us that's going to tell us the truth, even if it makes us uncomfortable.
You say no, not always yes, for
That's
sure.
right. That's right. That are
And
willing to tell us not just what we want to hear, but what we need to hear. Us hearing what we need to hear in business can be a matter of life or death of that business.
and successful founders, I think, Mr. Michael, handle uncertainty by accepting it as a constant rather than a threat
That's right.
and designing their decisions around flexibility, right?
Well said, Daniel. Well said. Very good observation.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can start out with a plan, but plans change.
Mm.
Somebody may be in a relationship, but it's going to be hard. I was watching a video about that earlier today. A gentleman was talking on a podcast. He said, I'm paraphrasing here, anything worth having, be willing for it to be hard. If it were easy, it'd probably been done already. It's not that it's always going to be hard. Doesn't mean, right, there's going to be, hopefully there's ups and downs, right?
Yes.
But if it's worth having, it's worth sticking to it. It's worth fighting for. It's worth navigating. And that gets to the heart of your question, the adaptability, the flexibility to read the play and adjust to the play. I like using sports metaphors, right? And I think
Yes.
sports in many ways is symbolic for life. You come out with a game plan, but the other team has a game plan as well. Who's going to adapt? Who's going to adjust? Who's going to go in at halftime and make the right adjustments? The right adjustments when it comes to business can be a matter of not just surviving but thriving. But you can't adjust if you're not coachable. So it's so important that the entrepreneur, the leading the visionary, not get too high on his or her horse where they can't continue to learn or continue to grow. That because they're the CEO, no one can tell them what to do. Great teachers, in many ways, are great students. They're
Mm.
coachable. Yeah. They want to be greater. They don't settle for the fact that they've had some success. They have an insatiable appetite for excellence. And somebody's listening to this, Daniel. I just got a feeling. I believe someone's listening and they want to be great. And they're right because they take time out to listen to podcasts like this, right? They're searching, they're seeking for that edge. They're seeking to move from where they are to where they're going. And I encourage them, just as I encourage myself, do not give up that insatiable appetite for excellence. You might not know how, you might not know when, but know what. Know what you're called to do. And if you don't know what, spend time in prayer and meditation and seeking and searching what it is that you're called to do. Because when we step into our calling, it's not just that things get easy, but they tend to flow better. Yeah.
Flow better.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that, Mr.
That's why,
Michael.
right, Daniel, why you
Hmm.
can do so many podcasts over time after time because you're flowing. Is that right, Daniel?
Flowing. Yes, true. Flowing of too much ideas. Mm.
How did you know, Daniel, that podcasting would be your lane and that you would tap into this? How did you come to this?
Well, the first time I heard a podcast was by Guy Raz. How I built this. He's interviewing a businessman or entrepreneur. Let's say entrepreneur, interviewing how they succeed. And I said to myself, I want to be like him.
Wow.
So I did initiate my first podcast, which is a book 101 review because I love reading.
Check
Why
it
not?
out,
It's
people. Book 101. Check it out. Okay.
book 101, people. Please do listen. So I did started book 101 review because that's my passion. Okay, so I
And it
said,
took off from there, huh?
yes, look from there. And then I'm a chef. So I did food 101. And then I'd evolve. I traveled the world because I worked in the cruise ship before, so I did geography 101. Then after that, I love paintings. So I did paint abstract painting, which is I did publish on Amazon. I think I have 300 volumes, people. So
Wow.
check it out, abstract essay on Amazon. It's a collection of my artwork. So I did abstract essay. Then after that, a lot more comes about after that. So that's
All
the
because you
beginning.
stayed connected to your interests and the
Mm,
things that were in your lane, right?
yes.
I think that's a really good example. Thanks for sharing that. Another thing I take from what you just said is that leaders are readers.
Mm-hmm.
Great entrepreneurs, successful people often are avid readers. They're learners. And once we learn, we don't want to just turn into like a library or museum, right? We don't want to just hold on to all that information. We want to pour it out into others. And you took that leap of faith and look where you are now with the podcasts.
Yes. And thank you, people, for supporting. And I hope you will continue support us this coming 2026 and beyond because there's a lot more podcasts to come for sure.
Amen.
Yes. So, how can mindset prevent burnout, Mr. Michael?
Mindset helps prevent burnout because we don't lose our calling, we don't lose our passion, we don't lose that thing that invigorates us in the first place. And we understand that we got to protect that mindset, which means we might need to take some breaks. In all our efforts in being energetic and passionate and persevering, we need to
Mm-hmm.
also practice self-care to do things that
Yes,
allow us to
self-care.
unwind, that allows us to recharge our batteries, so that way we can operate in wisdom and do what's right for ourselves. And when we do what's right for ourselves, that helps us do what's right for the business.
Yes.
So we practice that. We lean into that. We embrace self care. Be willing to take a time out. Be willing to do things for yourself, whether it's going exercise or practicing your faith, you know, whether it's going to the spa, whether it's, you know, whatever it is that you do that recharges you and makes you feel reinvigorated, is so important to do that in order to avoid burnout.
Mm, yes, definitely. And I think also mindset prevents burnout by shaping how pressure or workload and
Yeah,
expectation are interpreted and managed over time.
that's right.
Just,
Because
just,
the pressure
yeah,
can mount. The
true.
pressure can mount quickly, and it's so important that we have a mindset of self-care and doing right by ourselves, because a great idea run on fumes, right, is not going to take off. We have to have the energy, get adequate rest, take care of our mental, physical, spiritual, even relational health in order to
Right.
succeed.
Relational health and how about mental habits limit growth? Mr. Michael, what is all about?
Mental habits, you know, I think meditation and reflection, setting the stage for the day really matters. You know, tapping into talking to people that help relieve pressure from us. Who
Mm-hmm.
are the people in your circle that you can call and get an encouraging word from? That's an important habit. Maybe you need to journal. Maybe you need to do affirmations. Maybe you need to have a mantra each day that you start with. I'm a firm believer in how we start a day matters. If you roll out of bed and the first thing you do is start reading the news or your social media feed, then maybe you've let the day set for you versus you setting the day. Get some good content, get some reflection, get some prayer, get some meditation. And to each his own. I've realized people have their own habits and routines. So to each his own about what works best for them. But at some point, make sure, right, you're setting the stage for the day. And that's a mindset of winning, to not just
I'm mindful.
respond, but to be not just be reactive, but be proactive.
Mm, yes. And I think mental habits that limit growth are patterns of thinking that distort judgment and restrict action as well as compound over time into strategic stagnation.
Yeah. Some people call that a paradigm,
Mm,
a system of thinking. And if it's faulty thoughts, if it's stinking thinking,
mm,
or if it's healthy thinking, that's why affirmations matter so much. Say, I am great. I'm going to be successful today. Today's going to be a winning day. I'm partnering with God today. Together, there's nothing that me and Him cannot face today. Say that over and over and over again. Say it until you believe it.
yes.
And then once you take off of that day, expect the winning to come in. There may be some adversity, but we got the right mindset. We got the right thought process to be able to tackle it. To say, no, I've already set the stage for today. Today is going to be a great day. It doesn't mean it's not going to be challenging, but we got the right mental framework, the right mental approach. And that's not just a one off, that's a discipline, that's a lifestyle.
Mm,
Either we're going to set the temperature or we're just going to react to the temperature. Let's not just
Yes.
be reactors. Let's set the stage for our success.
Mindset, people. Mindset. And I always tell to myself early in the morning, Mr. Michael, I'm the head, not the tail. I'm a victor, not a victim. I have a
That's
good day
beautiful.
today.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Always do that, people, and you will be exceptional.
That's great. That's great.
Yes. So, Mr. Michael, how does long-term thinking impact strategy for entrepreneur?
Long term thinking has a plan. Long term thinking has provision. Long term thinking has an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I think that ties in nicely what we were just talking about. You said how you have declarations, affirmations about setting the stage for the day. Part of the
Mm.
plan is to have a plan for the day. So after we've affirmed ourselves, we've set the stage, we got the right mindset, we got the right mantra. What's on the agenda? What's on the calendar? Time management, strategy, approach. Who do I need to call? I said I was going to call somebody yesterday. Did I call them? Did I follow up? Some people, Daniel, succeed because they're just relentless about following up.
Yes.
I think about people who are in sales, for example. Great salespeople understand they don't need to get every sale. Okay. They just need to get their fair share.
Fair share, yes.
Fair share, fair share. And they're willing to make enough calls, whether cold calls, whether following up with people, whether going knocking on doors, whether passing out cards, whatever it is, right? They know they don't have to get everybody. They just need to get their fair share. But that comes with a plan. That comes with an agenda. That comes with thick skin. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, if anybody's going to take a risk and want to be great and get to the next level, they got to be able to handle some no's.
Yes.
Understanding that it's a different mindset when you say, you know what, you saying no now, I can appreciate you don't need this now. I'm not going to take this personally. Let me go find somebody who's going to be a yes
Mm.
and approach it with optimism. Approach it by not taking it so personally and approach it with perseverance.
Very well said, Mr. Michael. And our last question will be why must mindset evolve as the business grows?
Because that business has a living, breathing organism, it's going to change. Yesterday might not look like today.
Mm-hmm.
Today might not look like what 3 months is going to look like. But when we have the ability to adapt, to adjust, and stay true to the core mission, we'll navigate the difficulty, we'll navigate the adversity. Because when you're called to it, you're going to go through it. Let me say that again for emphasis. I think that's pretty good. When you're called to it, you're going to go through it. Go through what? The ups and the downs, the adversity. Why? Because you're called to it. You're driven by it. It keeps you up at night. It motivates you. It inspires you. You're not satisfied until you're doing it. That's passion. That's purpose. That's calling. If you can walk away from it easily, so easily, chances are you were never called to it in the first place. But when you're called to something, when you believe God put you in this arena, if we open the dictionary and we see your name attached to that profession or that business, your picture is there, right? You're called to it. You won't quit so easily. You'll persevere. You'll bounce back. We'll bounce back because adversity, in many ways, is a prerequisite to success. If it were easy, everybody'd be doing it.
Mm, yes.
But if it gets
If
a little tough, it gets a little hard, push through, persevere. Remember, you're called to it.
only one only one person does. Pass. And I think mindset also evolve as a business grows because The challenges, the ways, and responsibilities at each stage are, let's say, fundamentally different, right?
Yeah. And are you growing with the business? Will the business outgrow you? If your business takes off, but if we don't have the character to go along with it, then we put that business at risk. I'll share this, Daniel. Never
Yes.
let your talent take you to a place that your character will not sustain you.
Mm,
When talent and character match, now we're taking off for success. So as the
very
business
well said.
grow, we need to grow. As we grow, the business will grow.
Yes. We need to grow, people, not stagnant.
That's right.
Mm. And stop procrastinating. If you have something or passion that you want to share to the world, please do so. And Mr. Michael, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I am inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review coming sixth season this January. Comedy 101 in third season. Book, Food 101 is also sixth season. Geography 101, Love Letters, Movie 101, Review, Music 101, our fourth season, and Science 101, Sex 101 in second season, and my baby podcast, Mental Health 101, Law 101, Bible Verses 101, and Entrepreneurship 101, and the newest one, Motivation 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Michael, to wrap up our topic for today, mindset before money, how entrepreneurs think differently.
Mindset matters, and invest into a winning mindset. And I encourage all of our listeners to continue to support the podcast as we plan on putting out positive, inspirational, empowering information.
Yes, that will help you, people, to survive, to thrive, and to succeed. So, Mr. Michael, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. And to everyone, Happy New Year.
Happy, prosperous, bountiful New Year for everyone. Modicom people, see you soon.
Until next time, God bless. Peace. Adios.